Vasyl Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez prediction preview. Knuckleheads, welcome to the Fighters Rep, where we give you free fights, interviews in the fight game, and fight commentary from the mind of a promoter/attorney. And this is the big one. This is the big one for 2020, at least for the rest of 2020. We've got the two alpha dogs in the lightweight division. Teofimo Lopez, Vasyl Lomachenko going at it this Saturday. This is the fight everybody's talking about. This is the fight that everybody wants to watch. I don't care if you're hardcore. I don't care if you're a casual. If you even care about boxing, hell, if you even care about combat sports, period, you're watching this fight on Saturday night between Lopez and Lomachenko, and it is quite a treat. We not only have the two best guys in their respective division, the lightweight division, fighting for a unification, but we also have two guys in Loma and Teofimo who are some of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Certainly a lot of people consider Lomachenko as their number one or number two pound-for-pound. I think most of the time people kind of swap between him and Terence Crawford. But I think at this point, considering Terence Crawford's most recent performance, I got to go with Loma as the number one guy pound-for-pound right now. And I'll go as far as to say this. Vasyl Lomachenko, in my eyes, is the best fighter that I have seen since Floyd Money Mayweather. Again, the best fighter I've seen hands down since Floyd Money Mayweather. So this is a huge fight and a huge opportunity for the young Teofimo Lopez, about 10 years younger than Vasyl Lomachenko, to step up and really make a name for himself in boxing. I mean, he already has done so, but this is his chance to really knock his way into that, top 3 or top 5 pound-for-pound list if he can dethrone Vasyl Lomachenko. There are a couple things to take into consideration in this fight. First and foremost, we got to look at experience. Lomachenko definitely has more experience, right? As far as the amateurs go. When it comes to the pro game, they've got about the same amount of fights. But Vasyl Lomachenko had something like 400 plus amateur fights and just a superb, sublime boxer, won 2 gold medals in the Olympics. Just an amazing athlete. But, people cannot overlook the fact that Teofimo Lopez also had something like over 150 amateur fights and did well in the amateur game as well. And the experience advantage really won't show up until fight night. And I think it's going to be based on who is peaking or has peaked at the right time. Did Vasyl Lomachenko, with 400 amateur bouts and now 15 bouts in the pro game, did he burn himself out? Did he already peak? Is he on the decline? We don't really know. Teofimo Lopez, is he still peaking? Is he still on the verge of reaching his potential, right? It's going to be a huge aspect of this fight is going to be at what juncture are these guys relative to their prime, right? Because a lot of people will say that Vasyl Lomachenko's experience is going to carry the day, and typically I would say that as well. But he's got so many miles on the odometer, and this is something that Teofimo Lopez Sr. has brought up. He's got so many miles on the odometer that does it become detrimental? That's something that remains to be seen. So as far as experience, I like Lomachenko's resume in the pro game and in the amateur game a bit more than Teofimo Lopez. I would say as far as experience goes, Loma has the advantage, but you never know, guys. You never know because, again, he may have already put too many miles on the odometer, and that's a question that's going to be answered on fight night. I think where Teofimo Lopez really has some advantages here is his explosive one-punch power, his explosiveness in general, and his athleticism. And that's not to say Lomachenko isn't athletic, because he's superbly athletic. And his coordination is off the charts, right? But Teofimo Lopez is a guy who's so athletic. And he's got so much pop. I mean, how many people have you seen do what Teofimo did to Richard Comey in his last fight, finish him like that in the second round? A typically very durable Richard Comey, who was the champ at that point. You know, that was quite the accomplishment from Teofimo Lopez, and we can't take that away from him. Besides the explosiveness, though, and the speed and the athleticism, Teofimo Lopez in this fight has the height advantage by 1 inch, and that's not as significant as the reach advantage which he carries into this bout, which is apparently 3 inches. And you know, you're not going to want to come into that danger zone with Teofimo Lopez and exchange so much, you know, if you're your typical boxer. Lomachenko might be the guy that can pull it off, but when you're in that up close and personal danger zone where punches are being thrown in close range, you know, you're really susceptible to getting clipped. And that is something that Teofimo Lopez can do to anybody. And we saw Lomachenko get dropped by a Jorge Linares who doesn't have the pop, in my opinion, doesn't have the pop of a Teofimo Lopez. So this is just an all-around dangerous fight for both guys. But I do think if we're talking about advantages for Teofimo Lopez, we got to look at the physical, we got to look at the biographic, and we got to say, hey, this guy's got a 1 inch height advantage. This guy's got a 3 inch reach advantage. This guy's got tremendous one-punch knockout power, athleticism, boxing skills. This guy is not going to be an easy fight. This guy poses several problems for Vasyl Lomachenko. Lomachenko has conceded that this will not be an easy fight. And so while I'm giving Loma the experience edge, potentially, I'm giving Teofimo Lopez a few edges when it comes to physicality and athleticism and everything else. As far as technique goes, I think both of these guys are sharp. I do think that Vasyl Lomachenko, as I indicated earlier on, the best fighter I've seen, the best boxer I've seen since Floyd Money Mayweather. If you know me, you know I think Mayweather's the best I've ever seen. Lomachenko, I think, could potentially reach that status of a Floyd Money Mayweather. And I gotta give him the technical advantages. I mean, the guy's just brilliant. His footwork, the way he puts everything together, his timing, his speed, he's got enough power. You know, he's just amazing. Not to say Teofimo Lopez doesn't have some solid technique, but I feel like he keeps his hands down. He relies a lot more on his speed and reflexes as opposed to his fundamentals. And so if I'm forced to choose a side or to give one guy an advantage over the other, as far as technique and fundamentals goes, I gotta go with Lomachenko because of technique. And if you guys know me, you know that for me, skills pay the bills unless there's some sort of intangible or advantage that the other guy has that I just feel like cannot be overcome. And in this situation, knuckleheads, at the end of everything I've said, my prediction for this fight is a close, grueling decision for Vasyl Lomachenko. And I will say I'm about 55% confident in that happening, 45% confident in Teofimo Lopez having the ability to potentially blast Vasyl Lomachenko out of there. I mean, I could see Teofimo Lopez landing a shot like Linares did and potentially finishing the fight. But Lomachenko is just so experienced that might be hard. So, I mean, anything could happen in this fight. You know, if you're trying to make huge money and he's a huge underdog, you would probably put your money on Teofimo Lopez. I would imagine the bookmakers are going to have this thing a bit closer than usual. So I got to go and I got to put my money on Vasyl Lomachenko with a 12-round decision in a very interesting fight. And again, this is a 45-55 proposition, a 45-55% chance, right? Not a 50-50 fight, but 45-55. I would say Vasyl Lomachenko wins this thing based on what we discussed here. Again, technical superiority and enough speed and athleticism to counter the incredible speed, athleticism, and power, as well as the technique of a Teofimo Lopez. Knuckleheads, give me your prediction. Tell me what you think happens in this fight. I look forward to hearing from you and what you have to say. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation. Get your Fighters Rep gear in the link below. Today we officially released the Mexican Warrior t-shirt paying homage to La Raza and all the great Mexican fighters. I put it out a couple weeks before Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. I thought it would be a great commemoration to La Raza, so definitely check that out if you don't mind. Anything you guys purchase here gets reinvested right back into the channel and into the only kickboxing promotion that matters. And check out that shirt among our other shirts, man. That Mexican Warrior shirt is the dopest shirt you're going to see in the fight game. Knuckleheads, I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out.